received oxygen all before my brain. Pleasant fantasy, I didn't feel ashamed. When I look at you, my libido takes control. When I look at you, it's mystical, illusion love.
Hi, this is DJ Tina, host of HMTV Canada Easy. On the phone with me today is an internationally acclaimed band creating a huge buzz in the media worldwide. Italy-based Belladonna TV.
When I am with you, we're magical, damnation gods. Overwhelmed by my obsession, I let all the sea. All for fire, who's in.
Hi Danny. Belladonna has come a long way since 2005 and earned credits worldwide for the band's music. Is Belladonna now being well received in the rock scene in Rome and Italy today?
Yeah, and it's getting better and better. Lately we had lots of interest, from the Italian media, rock media and otherwise. We've been featured like in Rolling Stone magazine, the Italian edition of Rolling Stone magazine, and we had network radios playing our music. So it's going really well. This year I've seen, a massive rise of interest in our band here in Italy. So, and hopefully, when we release our next album, it'll go even better.
I hear that you are working on a forthcoming release. Can you tell us the exciting news on the new Belladonna Noir songs?
Yes, we recorded the album in June. We recorded the backing tracks in June in the USA, as a matter of fact, in California. In Northern California, there's this amazing studio called Radio Star, and the owner is Sylvia Messi, a producer that, she produced Tool, System of a Down, Johnny Cash, and many others. Incredible producer, and we worked with her on this release, and it was mixed by Mike Ross, who worked with Christina Aguilera and many other big names, in the pop world. And now we like doing, the last overdubs and finalizing the mixes here in Rome, in my studio, and it's ready to come out sometime in February 2009, and it's gonna have 11 new noir songs, and the sound is just incredible. We love our first album, and it was great. Two of the songs from the first album even made it to the Grammy Awards ballot, this year. So we're really happy of our debut album. But this one, sound-wise, on sonically, it's gonna be so much better. It's sounding amazing, and the songs are really, we're really happy with them. We wrote loads of songs in the last 2 or 3 years, and this is the cream of the crop, so to speak. And we're really thrilled. We can't wait for it to come out.
Will these songs have the same themes like madness and magic, revenge and reincarnations as in your previous CD, Metaphysical Attraction?
Yes, absolutely. Even more so. We have a few songs. Are gonna be sort of short films in themselves. Where you'll have characters and something happens, and all the stories are about passion and crime and esoterica. One of the songs is about reincarnation. It's called Phoenix Rising, and it's about you have to hear it for yourself. But it's about reincarnation in a way that it's like a story. So Luana is singing the story, and when she starts within the song, her character changes, because dies and reincarnates in a different form. You really have to hear the record. It's sometimes very awkward to talk about lyrics because the lyrics are there, and we feel they're not supposed to be explained too much. They're just supposed to be listened to and enjoyed as they are. So, but yeah, it's even more. There's more esoterica and erotica than our first record. So, and that is a lot.
Is Belladonna's current lineup still the same with Luana vocals, Danny guitar, yourself guitar, Alice piano, Tam bass, and Alex on drums?
And it was even more crucial in this record to have this lineup because we've done so many gigs together in the last few years, and the way we recorded the album was all basically the backing tracks were all recorded live in the studio, like bands used to do in the 70s, with no click tracks, all in the same room looking at each other and just going for a great take as if we were on stage. So there's an energy and a vibe on the record that is really, really live, and that's what we wanted, to record maybe Led Zeppelin or the Beatles would do, all together live with no fixing with computers, no Pro Tools tricks, auto-tune or fixing or putting things on time, and no click tracks, it's just music played by musicians.
I just wanted to compliment Luana. She puts a lot of heartfelt emotion in her lyrics, which can be felt by the listener, and her songs create imagery. Can you tell us the successful journey of your acclaimed debut CD, Metaphysical Attraction, that has gained rave reviews all over the world?
To start with, everybody sort of assumes that that maybe I write the music and Luana writes the lyrics, but it's not actually this way around. It's mixed. We write all the stuff together, and it's not like I write the lyrics or she writes the music or the other way around. It's like we do everything together, and it's our vision basically, and it's shared by the rest of the band. And for us, the lyrics of our songs are in many ways just as important as the music, which is something that maybe in many rock bands do not care too much about the lyrics, but we are very influenced by people like Bob Dylan or Johnny Mitchell, where the lyrics were really, really important, and the sonics were important, but also the meaning, behind the lyrics was an important part in creating in carrying the emotion of what we want to do in music. So in this record, we put even more time and care in doing what we wanted to do, and we are really thrilled. We really cannot wait for the album to come out.
Can you tell us about how Black Swan and Foreverland have been received with incredible honor, unprecedented for an unsigned band, of being included in the Grammy Awards 2008 ballot in categories Best Rock Performance by the duo or group with vocals and the Best Rock Song?
Well, we're not really sure how that happened. What happened was that we were going to the States in November, because we did a recording session in November as well for this record, last November, and we went to Sylvia Massi's studio, and just before we left, she said, "Hey guys, I've seen you on the Grammy ballot," and we had no clue, that it was beyond our wildest dreams, so we didn't really register at first, and then we were like, yeah, we didn't even realize what it was, and then when we checked the Grammy website and we saw our name on it, it was like really bizarre, we had to print the page and we kept it, in our studio, so we could watch it every 5 minutes to make sure it was true and we weren't dreaming. We have really no idea how that happened, but we were sure thrilled by it. It was an incredible honor, and it felt really good. It sort of validated, a lot of the sacrifice that we put into our music.
I bet you're really excited at the time. It was just a rush.
Yeah, it was. We just couldn't believe it. Yeah. And nobody could really. I still can't believe it. But yeah, we had in one of the categories we had 2 songs, and bands like My Chemical Romance or Depeche Mode had only 1. So it was ridiculous, really. We were just amazed. We were amazed, but we did feel really honored, and it felt we felt humbled, and it felt like that to have such a sign of recognition by the American music industry made us even more determined, to carry on despite all the sacrifices that are involved into doing music our own way, with no record company support, and to do a second album that was the best we could.
Well, that's really exciting, and it's a really great thing to happen, especially when you're an unsigned band and you did all the work on your own.
Yeah, on that record, it was actually our demos, Forever and the Black Swan were demos of the songs that me and Luana were writing. We would get together with the band, and every time we would finish 4 songs, writing 4 songs, we would get put a few mics in our rehearsal room, record the drums, and then do a few overdubs here in my room. It's like a bedroom, where I have a very small studio, very tiny, and we would just record those songs. They were supposed to be demos, and then we were thinking, well, one day we'll record them for real. And then when we put those songs on MySpace, everybody started asking for those songs. They just wanted to buy those versions. So then we thought, well, we might as well put out these ones because people seem to love these ones. So what's the point in recording them again? And we just choose 11 out of 20 that we had recorded, and that was Metaphysical Attraction. But it's just demos. Like on Black Swan, the drums are recorded with 3 microphones.
Wow.
And it's nowhere near, the sonical standards that are expected, especially by the music industry these days. So that's why we're even more honored of getting into the Grammy Awards. It showed that many people are still looking for emotion in music instead of audio excellence, which is great. By like the Beatles records they don't sound too good, by today's standards because they were recorded in the 60s. But the music is still awesome, and it's much better than a lot of terrible music that we hear on the radio nowadays. Recorded really well, but it's just manufactured, and it doesn't have any emotion in it. It's not even musicians playing on it, just computers, playing stuff and people singing on top, and the people that sing on top are tuned with a computer. It's just manufactured, and it's so we felt it was, it was great. It was great given the circumstances.
I find that when there's really a lot of heartfelt emotion in the song, you reach a lot broader audience because people can relate to those songs and what they go through in their daily lives.
Well, because that's also like something that, when me and Luana started this band, we said, well, let's write the songs that we would love to hear, and let's just write what the hell we want, regardless of what anybody might expect, and let's write about ourselves and our dreams and our nightmares without any censorship on ourselves, because maybe something should be so and so, because that way will be more radio friendly, and the other way a record company might like it, and that way similar to whatever is hot at the moment on the radio. We didn't care about that. We wanted to do just a record for our own personal pleasure, and because basically we thought that we would get nowhere, because we were just two Italian guys. I mean, with a band, 5 Italian people. But anyway, me and Luana writing the songs. It was just two of us writing music in English here in Italy, and it's like we had no hope, that anybody would ever care. It was just for ourselves. And then, like through MySpace, everything changed, and it wasn't really. We didn't really expect it. It was never in our plans, for anybody, outside our family and friends to ever hear those songs. It was never planned. It just sort of happened. We were really surprised, but and I cannot really explain why. But maybe the idea of doing music for our pleasure is opposite to doing it for a radio plugger guy pleasure or a record company guy's pleasure. Then maybe is the key, because that's what music should be about. Like I guess it's like sex. It should be the expression of our own feelings. It shouldn't be fake. If it's real, it's good. If it's not real, then it's not even sex. And music, I think, is the same. If it's something that you feel inside, then it's real and it's music. Otherwise, it just sounds.
Mm-hmm, exactly. There's a lot of songs that come out on the radio today. A lot of the audience can relate to, and they do create strong imagery, and they're forever. I mean, if you have the CD or the vinyl, you're going to keep it forever because it's something that's part of your life.
Absolutely, like those old Led Zeppelin records, you could listen to them, over and over again. Because that's a particular emotion of 4 people, and they were good musicians, and they managed to record it as well as they could, and they put loads of emotion in it, and we're always gonna love it. It's like watching, those great movies of the past. Maybe they have no computer trickery, as movies have now, but they last forever. Those, I don't know, like The Godfather, that movie will last forever because it's just incredible. The acting and everything is real. Then when you start putting computers into the equation, it's like Photoshop. It's like a girl can look beautiful. Because if you retouch her with Photoshop, it's great. And then, but it's not. It cannot be. It's not even sexy anymore because it's not human. It's just there's no humanity to it.
Yeah, that's true. And it's just like having VHS in your collection. If you have old movies on VHS, there's still ones that I watch. And even though I have a DVD collection, I still go back to some of my VHS movies.
Yeah, isn't it crazy?
It is, yes.
Yeah, the same here. I listen to my vinyl records all the time. Old like rock records. Like I don't have any Zeppelin stuff on CD. As a matter of fact, I do have a greatest hits compilation, but I never listen to it. I just have the vinyl records and I put them on, and it just sounds incredible. It was just better. Because it was music done for pleasure and not for business.
Exactly, and there's the thing called compression that when it comes to MP3s, the sound is too compressed. Where if you get that audio quality or that better audio quality in high definition on both vinyl and audio CDs that are not MP3s.
Absolutely, I agree 100%. Yeah. I don't have an iPod myself. I'm never gonna buy one because like the music I love, I wanna hear it properly. It's like I guess it's good to have one because you can listen to the music you like or wherever you are. But for me, music is like something sacred. So if I listen to a record, I sit down, I put the record on, and for 20 minutes, that's what I'm doing. It's like reading a book. Mm-hmm. I don't read a book while I walk.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't know. And you're right. The MP3 quality. I mean, it's fine. If we have to put a record on while we talk with friends or a party or whatever. But when it's time to listen to a record that we love, that is giving something to our lives, then I prefer to sit down in front of my speakers and put a vinyl record on. And I don't know. It's a sacred right.
I agree. One thing with iPods, they are one of the hottest selling items in Canada right now because there's iTunes stores going up. But I noticed with iTunes, the MPUs are audio quality and they're not so compressed like the MP3s.
They're better, yeah.
Yeah, so it seems to be selling more, and some of the stores have to send the MP3 players back because they're not selling so good as the iPods.
Really? Oh, yeah, because the quality is better in the iPod, you're right.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Belladonna TV videos are full of energy, and the black and white effects of all the videos bring out the romantic, mysterious quality in Belladonna. Where on location was the Belladonna music videos filmed at?
Well, in different places. Like, we've done 3 videos so far from our first album. The first one, Black Swan, was done like on a no budget, 0 budget. It was actually done in my house, and in one of the rooms. So the white backdrop is one of the rooms of my bedroom. And it was just done there, with a light. And that's why there's never more than 1 or 2 of us in the same shot, because we all shot each member of the band separately, and then we edited it together, and it was done here at home with no money. But we love the video. We love how it came out, and it was really beneficial to have it on YouTube and MySpace, because everybody could see what the band was about, in video. Then we did the second one. Then we shot that one in Berlin, in Germany, in East Berlin, and that was an amazing experience. Berlin is such an amazing town. And the third one we did in the mountains here in Italy, and once again it was done, like on a no budget. We went up in the mountains, and it was basically me and Luana and a guy with a camera, and we shot the whole thing. It was really freezing.
Wow.
Because it was all in the snow. That's the Foreverland video. But it was fun. But yeah, even with videos, we tend to want to do everything ourselves, because it's like the black and white thing that you mentioned. Mm-hmm. That's very crucial for us to have everything that regards Belladonna. It's one concept, and every time we appear on video, he has to be sort of tuned in with what the music is about. So that's why we prefer to do it ourselves, instead of getting another director, as great as they are, to impose his own vision on it. We'd rather the vision to be Belladonna's.
I agree, yeah, and the mountains in Italy, they're just breathtaking. I've seen pictures of the mountains over there, and they are breathtaking. It's just a beautiful place to be.
Yeah. It was very cold. I mean, like, you're in Canada, so I guess, it gets colder than it does here there.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so I shouldn't complain about the cold.
Sometimes it goes down to below 25 Celsius.
Wow.
And that's to the point where you have to take a torch to your doors just to get them open in the morning. And if you don't plug your car in at night, you can't start it because it's so cold.
Wow.
And you're there half an hour each morning trying to get the ice off the windows and the snow off. It's our winters can either be gentle or they can be super rough and super cold at times. But we have a good mix here in southern Ontario. But as you get towards up north, it's like minus 40 Celsius.
Wow.
And
that's
I don't know how anybody can live under those conditions.
Yeah.
It's super cold up there.
Yeah, wow.
Oh, yes. What popular radio stations can we request Belladonna musics currently?
Well, we cannot really be sure, because so far we've been added to the playlist of over 200 radio stations. So we're getting close to 250, and it's really impossible, to keep track of who is, playing us heavily on the playlist or who isn't. But we get such a tremendous feedback on MySpace, from so many people. We know that our music is still getting played a bit all over the place. Mm-hmm. But then again, the Metaphysical Attraction album has come out quite a while ago now, and with the new album, we hope that all the radios that have supported us so far are gonna give us, more support. But we're sure that when they hear the new album, they'll go crazy. I mean, whoever loved Metaphysical Attraction is gonna go crazy when they hear this new one.
I can't wait for the new one to come out.
So do I.
I just can't wait to hear it, because your old one, I really fell in love with the music on the old material, and now listening to the old material, I'm just curious what's in store for the fans when the new one comes out. Like, we're eager to hear it. It's just like when you're a kid in the candy store, you want to hear it now.
Yeah, I know. We haven't finished mixing it yet. I mean, it's been mixed, but we're adding extra vocals and little bits and pieces, and just sounding incredible. You know, we're halfway through it. It should be ready in about 2 or 3 weeks, and then we release it after Christmas. So I think it's gonna be February, because we have to get everything ready for the promotion beforehand. So it's gonna take a little while, but yeah, we have to prepare the cover. I mean, there's loads of things that we need to sort out, do a new video and stuff. But yeah, we cannot wait for it to come out and see what feedback it gets.
So can you give us a little hint on what the fans can expect when the new CD comes out? Will it be a little bit sexier, a little bit darker, that sort of thing? A little bit maybe hardcore in the sounds and heavier maybe?
I think it's sort of heavier, because it's definitely recorded a lot better. The quality of the recording is like, it's as good as it can get, with a rock record. And but it still has the Metaphysical Attraction sound. It sounds very natural. It's still a band playing with no tricks, no studio tricks. So he has the Belladonna sound completely, but everything is recorded better. So it's like it's still like a picture of the same band, but it's done with a better camera, and that makes it a little, I think, heavier. It's closer to what we are live, I guess, because when we play live, the sound is really, we tend to be more aggressive. Is not the right word, but more upfront. Everything is more upfront and it's more intense. So yeah, maybe intense is the right word. It's definitely more intense, and it just sounds great. Yeah, it's rockier in parts. There is a piano ballad like on the first record, and I can't wait for you to hear it. But it's just a few months, and it's gonna be out there.
Looking forward to it for sure.
Cool.
Have you been on any tours to promote Metaphysical Attraction and shared the stage with any well-known artist?
Well, like on Metaphysical Attraction, we did like some good gigs. Like we played 2 months ago with Cars on Broadway, the band that was formed by the two System of a Down members, and that went really well. And for the new album, we have a few dates planned. We're gonna do a few dates in December. We're gonna be playing in London again, in the UK, and then do a few Italian shows. This is at the beginning of December, and this is like something that we haven't announced yet, but it's definitely we're gonna be doing our US debut in March.
Awesome.
Yeah, and because we've been booked a gig in South by Southwest, which is the music convention. It happens in Austin, Texas, every year. And we've been invited there, and we definitely want to go. It's going to be like a club gig, a showcase. But the whole American industry is going to be there, because every year in Austin, during this convention, the whole American music industry goes to Austin, Texas. So there's like loads of bands playing, big bands and newer bands, and there's a convention area, and it's just a great place to be, and that's going to be on the 19th of March. And on the cards, we also have an LA showcase during those same dates. So we might, go to LA and play the Viper Room. But that's still to be confirmed.
Okay. Yeah, there's the NAMM convention coming up in Anaheim, California. I believe it's sometime in January.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a different one, and it's going to be March in Austin. But that will be our US debut, so we're obviously really thrilled, I mean, details still have to be, discussed, regarding, the whole trip. We still haven't worked out if we're going to be playing also in LA or do any more dates. But this 19th of March date is definite, so unless something dramatic happens, we should be there.
Okay. And you do sell Belladonna CDs and merchandise at your live performances?
Yes, of course, yeah, all the time, yeah. I mean, like, we are an unsigned band, so the records are ours, so we can do what we want with them. It's not like we don't need to ask permission to anybody.
Are you seeking a record label, or do you want to remain unsigned?
We want to remain unsigned. We've been offered many deals here in Italy because our profile has gone, especially after the Grammy Awards, but, we're not really interested. I mean, unless someone comes out with a big plan, and with loads of money and, with great ideas and with the will of sharing our vision and not imposing us a different musical vision or aesthetic vision, then in that case, we could talk, but as it is, we'd rather, for us it's like, this is our life, so we're not prepared other people to tell us what to do with our lives, and if that means selling a lot less records because we don't have the right distribution or the right promotion or the right whatever, then it's okay. It doesn't matter. For us, of course, we like to sell as many records as we can to reach as more people as we can, but only if it happens our way. We're not gonna, put it this way, like, we're not gonna perform plastic surgery on our music and on our faces, like, just to be liked by more people. people.
Have you thought of starting your own record company?
Well, in a way it is, like on Metaphysical Attraction, if you look at the back, it says Belladonna Records.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what the next record will say at the back. So it's but it's not really a label in a sense that we sign in other bands,
Right.
It's just a way to release our records.
Right. Have you thought of a distribution deal?
Well, we have one in Italy. In Italy, when it comes out, it will come out in the shop through an independent distributor here in Italy. And we're trying to sort out deals with in other countries. So if anybody out there in Canada is interested, give us a call.
Okay. All right. And it's from your MySpace page at www.myspace.com, Belladonna, www.belladonna.tv. That's where you sell all the merchandise through?
At the moment, we sell everything at www.belladonna.tv/store, but that can be reached easily through our MySpace, and that's where we sell our t-shirts and our first record. For the next record, probably we're gonna open like a web page dedicated to the record, so it will be easier for everybody to reach for it and download the music or buy it or whatever.
Yeah, because is that going to be your global international store? So fans from Canada and USA can buy merchandise online?
Everyone will be able to buy it from there. Yeah.
That's
Also,
awesome.
we're gonna have it on iTunes, as the first one.
Okay, that's sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, before we wrap up our interview, do you have any last words?
Well, first of all, thank you to you, Tina, and thanks for everyone listening. That's gone this far listening to this interview. And come and see us, on MySpace and drop us a line. Me and Luan answer to everybody. So it takes us many hours every day to do that, but we're really happy when someone drops us a line, and we try to chat with everybody. And we are on speaking terms with thousands of people now, because some people write to us all the time. Where we manage all the time to find the time to at least answer whatever someone might ask us, and we're really happy. So yeah, come on MySpace and become a friend.
That's awesome. For sure, I will. Thank you, Danny, for allowing our HMTV Canada e-zine to interview Belladonna TV music. It was an honor, and you rock.
You guys rock. Thank you so much, Tina.
Amo la musica della Belladonna.
Brava!
Did I say it
Bravissima.
right?
Molto buono.
Thank you, Danny.
Thank you to you. Thanks to you, Tina.
Have yourself a great day.
Yeah, you too.
Okay, bye now.
Bye-bye. Ciao.